Alright guys, here it is. The easiest heroes to max from actual grease tits to XP laxatives and anything in between. Now, is this list subjective? No, it's completely objective because I've done all these grinds before and I've made videos on each and every one of them. I think so, right? Yeah. Now, just because I put a hero lower than another one, does that mean that you can't get more XP with that hero than I can? Yes, it does. So this is probably going to be the most accurate tier list I ever make. So I'd say take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time don't, because this is all objectively true. So Anakin Skywalker, so you can get like a consistent 60 to 70, 80 if you prolong the match right. Not bad, not bad, not bad. He's got 3 really good maps, but honestly, I'd put him at great. BB-8, if there's not a Chewie there, he's top tier. One of the best. I think second best hero to level in the entire game, dude. BB-8, he's so underrated and not at the same time. It blows my fucking cranium. Great hero in GA, and I've seen some people use him in duels before. Okay, this isn't a hero tier list. I don't know why I'm fucking getting so off track. Okay, BB-9E. Now, he has to contend in co-op with a Palpatine. Where's Palpatine? Where is this juicy fucking ass? Okay, he has to contend with this guy. He has to contend with Phasma and Kylo Ren on the MC85, which is his best map. But in everything else, dude, he gets like, he can get beaten out by a flame trooper, a Sith trooper. It's just, I don't know, man. I would put BB-9E in actual grease tits, just in relative terms to each and every person on this list. He can get like a 60, to 70 sometimes on the MC85 if you're really bussin', respectively, no kizzy. But by no means is he a terrible hero. I'm just saying in terms of grinds, he can be difficult sometimes. And that's why I put him in not bad. Oh, Bosk. Oh my god, my baby boy. Oh, you little juicy. Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to put Bosk up here for now. It may change, but you can literally just lay back and lounge in your Snuggie and just click on MTV and like fucking teach yourself how to Dougie, because Bosk is just, he's one of the easiest heroes to max in the entire game. And I maxed him out in what was it? Republic co-op? Separatist co-op, my bad. Chewbacca. This dude's also an animal. I'll put him above BB-8. I maxed this dude, I think, the quickest out of any of them. Out of any of these heroes. Just because of the MC85 and Agent Kloss. Dude, he... Just thinking back on those charge slams, dude, in that hallway. Like, I was so whacked out on sleep, too. I had been on, like, a 20-hour straight grind into triple XP. That was just a really, really core memory for me. Chewie will always be one of my favorite grinds. Always, always, always. Count Dooku. Now, this one is difficult. And for that, I'm putting him in actual grease tits. You can do well with him, right? You can do well. But his crowd control is a bit challenging. So I guess in terms of, if we're talking actual grease tits, I'm talking we have to actually apply strategies and think about them 24/7 and not just have to click one, crowd control ability. You've got to ambush with him constantly. You got to do all these things that pretty much amount to an average of 60k XP, and that's a really good number for Dooku. It goes from about 50 to 60. But I know a lot of people have trouble with this grind, and I see that, and I understand why. Boba Fett. Now, he would be and not bad if we were only talking about getting him on, Jabba's palace every single time and landing those rocket barrages with the recharge card active. But the fact that he has to contend with Bosk, Maul, Palpatine, and Vader, Boba is just I think he's the most difficult in the game. I do. He was the hardest for me to max, not in terms of like difficulty, I guess, because I had no trouble like getting him every time as the hero and ripping with him, right? It's just, if you use his jetpack for traversal terms, he's toast. He's butter on bread, dude. He's melted cream cheese on a bitch's back. So, by no means is Boba a bad hero. I just think he's the hardest hero to max in the entire game. From personal experience. And by personal experience, I mean objective experience. Finn. I think Finn is the most consistent hero in terms of XP in the entire game. I wouldn't put him in XP laxative, though, because he can get beat out by a really aggressive Rey or a BB-8. But he does excel on Agent Kloss, like, the most out of anybody. Assuming there isn't, a Chewie or a BB-8 covering the right side of the hallway or, hitting all their shots. So I would put him above Anakin for now. Now, General Grievous, post Claw Rush nerf, if you know the ancient ways with him, and by ancient ways I mean glitches, he's good. I'd say he's pretty good. Again, that Claw Rush nerf is a pretty big detriment. If you work around it, if you hit the heavy first and then go into a Claw Rush and you use, Thrust Surge to the best of your advantage and conserve your stamina, use the environment as basically a second block button, I think he's a good hero. Now, Iden Versio. So I found her to be, great, but she's not like any of the Empire, top dog co-op leader levels. Her secondary fire is almost broken in co-op, but I don't think it beats out an aggressive saber hero or Palpatine. You can still absolutely schlonk with her in co-op, though. Don't get me wrong. That was a really, really easy grind. Okay, now with Kylo Ren, I don't want to put him in actual grease tits. I really don't. I mean, yeah, you've got to get strategies for this guy. Because if you just go in frenzy, they're going to hit all their shots, right? And his left ability and right ability leave you vulnerable too. It's not like a saber throw or a choke or a middle ability for Vader where you just can't get punished. I would put him in not bad. He can crowd control pretty easily with the right star cards and with the right strats. Now, Lando Calrissian. I'm debating whether to put him above or below Iden. Because his sharp shot absolutely wipes. It does. When I did this grind for the first time, I walked into it going, oh no, I'm going to have to play fucking Lando, dude. Are you kidding me? His blaster sucks. Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't suck. But in terms of fighting bots, the cooldown just, isn't what I like. But if I'm being real with you, I would put him above Iden. Not as good as Anakin or Finn, but definitely almost XP laxative level. For sure. Princess Leia. If you're using the Endor strat, and you get really good with that, you get really lucky and you've got some mates with you, she can just be insane. A true sex god. But on Kessel, she still performs really, really well. But just on her own, dude, and her ability to, heal inside her shield past regen, the E11 damage and the thermal detonators, I think one of the best blaster heroes to level up. But I'd put her behind Iden. I would. Luke Skywalker. Let me think about this. On Death Star, he can be a menace. On Kessel, you kind of have to wait for the enemy to collect inside the hallways and stuff before you launch, that combo. But I think in the right hands, Luke can be almost better than a Han or Leia in Empire co-op. With Intensify and 2 knockdown abilities, dude, his combo potential is just insane for Empire co-op. So I'd put him behind Anakin and above Lando, for sure. Darth Maul. Now, as some of you may know, well, actually, probably all of you know because that's like the most viewed video on my channel, I tried him in Republic co-op for the first little while of this grind, and I didn't like it, man. I wasn't having fun. Maul can get punished so easily by that aimbot, and it's really discouraging. It really is. But, I go till the end, and I look for strats if shit isn't working. So when I did use him in Empire co-op, however, he was a lesser Vader. Not Bosk level or Palpatine level, but I think he's still really, really good. His combo potential, if you get that down, it's just very, very creamy. Now, with Obi-Wan Kenobi, I don't think he is above any of these guys. And I know that's kind of a bit controversial because he can get into those spawn points with defensive rush and line up those pushes really, really well. But I think from my grind, at least, he was pretty outclassed by those Chewies and those Anakins. But again, if you hold down those spawn points with his push, I think he's really, really good. By no means is he bad or actual grease tits. With just a little bit of strategy, you can do amazingly well with Obi-Wan and get that XP like water. All right, Chibi boy. You could look at any part on this man's face and it would look like a vagina. But in terms of co-op, he's he's like top tier on Empire co-op and sequel co-op as well. So if we're talking XP, is he better than BB-8 and Chewie though? And Bosk? I don't think so. He can get hurt pretty easily as well. And that's something that Chewie and BB-8 and Bosk can really deal with, I guess. They can deal with a lot of, pain and injury. So I would put our boy Palpatine right here. Definitely above great, but I don't think he passes these guys. Captain Phasma. Now, you need to land your shots with her, right? And her survivability is really, really good. Turret's really good too. It helps you get extra points. Overall, if we're talking about somebody playing all of these heroes at maximum efficiency, I think Phasma is not bad. Not bad at all. If you've got those 2 star cards equipped and you're, using your middle ability constantly and placing your turret in great positions, she can be a powerhouse, but I don't know if she's good. She can be beaten out by a lot of, different heroes and even reinforcements, but if you're on top of your game, I think she's pretty good. Now, Rey, with her insight, can be really good. If you've got a teammate that's just, cleaning house, like a Chewie or a BB-8 or a Finn, and you've got those 2 insight cards on. But if you're on your own and you've got those 2 dash cards and then the increased insight duration card, she's definitely not as bad as some people think she is. I wouldn't put her above Leia. What about Obi-Wan? I think she does pass up Maul. I think she goes behind Obi-Wan. I do. Just because of the fact that Obi-Wan, with his defensive rush and his strong push card, it beats Rey out a little bit more in co-op. But yeah, some people might think she's in the not bad tier or actual grease tits tier. But I think if you're operating with her, using those strategies, I think really, really decent. Han Solo. The Dead Knight, man. What more can I say? The fucking Dead Knight. Those headshots with keep your head cool. I think Han's great. On Endor, I think he's the king. Is he the king? I think Leia's... No, Leia's on top. Definitely. But on Endor... Fuck, man. What is he? Because he dominates Kessel, though. And Kessel, I think, is the better map in terms of XP per minute. Hold on. I gotta look at this for a second. Because I think with his Death Knight, he does beat out almost every other hero on Kessel. And if you're landing the headshots, if you're a headshot savant, he's off the wall. He's insane. It takes like 2 headshots, or 1 in some cases, to kill any trooper. He's a beautiful, beautiful hero. Okay, this is the most controversial part for me right here. These 4 heroes. They're so close to each other, man. They're so close. Fuck. Like, Leia isn't bottom of great, I don't think. I want to put her in the middle, but I think Lando can beat her. And so can Iden and Han. But if your teammates keep getting injured and you're Leia and they keep popping inside your shield, you're going to be getting so much XP, dude. And the E11 can wipe sometimes just as good as Han in those close quarters on Kessel. I think I'm going to have to put her above Lando because those Det Knights and those E11 headshots and the shield XP. I think she's really close to Han, but I think Han beats her out a little bit. Darth Vader. Now, if we're talking pre-nerf Jabba's palace down that hallway, he goes up here. He really does. But in terms of just regular Jabba's palace, he's unkillable. He's unkillable. And if you're doing that strat, I released in the update, is he better than Palpatine? Is he better than Palpatine? I know he's better than these guys for sure. But where does he fall on the XP laxative scale? He doesn't beat out Bosk. He doesn't beat out Chewie. BB-8's way better. So the question is, where do I put him? Over here or over here? Now with Palpatine, if we're talking averages, if we're talking the average player, I think Palpatine does beat out a Vader. But if we're talking a good Vader and then up against a good Palpatine, I think Vader beats it out with a correctly placed saber throw and then a choke to the left or right. And just to clean up with basics, I think you can be a monster with Darth Vader. If we're talking all maps in general, like an Empire co-op, obviously Palpatine goes ahead, obviously. But Vader is just a powerhouse. Yoda, now this is interesting. A lot of people believed him to be like the worst saber hero to level up in the entire game, and I thought so too in the beginning. I kind of did. I'm gonna be real with you. His dash is really dangerous against bots, with that aimbot. But his unleash, man, it has such a wide radius. It's crazy. And if you charge that shit up at a good spawn point, it's over. It's completely over. His health ability is so great for surviving and helping out your teammates, and those 2 star cards that help it out too are just amazing for co-op. But is he actual grease tits? I don't think so. Is he not bad? I think he goes above that. But I don't think he places on top of these guys. Obi-Wan's better for sure. So Rey can be better. I think he's better than Rey. No? There we go. Yeah, on Felucia and parts of Geonosis and Camino, Yoda can get insane amounts of XP. Really, really wonderful hero in co-op, gotta say. Is this the list? Yeah, that looks about right. But with this Han and Leia thing, I've never been able to tell. I really never have. Because I sweat with both of them in Kessel and Endor, and I really got the same amount of XP. Han was the first character I ever got to like 800k XP, and that felt really good. And that might be contributing to a little bit of bias here, but I think a good Han with those detonates and headshots beats out a Leia. And with that being said, I think it is time to bring this tier list to a close. Thank you so much for watching through the entire video and sticking till the end. But let's be real, you skipped around about 10 times in this video. With that being said, guys, it's time for me to say with that being said, guys, twice in one video. Best of luck with your grinds, guys. Assuming you haven't maxed out all these in the first place.